Hello, gamers! Today, I'm going to introduce the game Castlevania, known in Japan as Akumaho Dracula, is a platform game developed and published by Konami for the Family Computer Disk System video game console in Japan in September 1986. It was later ported to cartridge format and released in North America for the Nintendo Entertainment System in May 1987 and in Europe in 1988. Additionally, it was reissued for the Family Computer in cartridge format in 1993. Castlevania marks the inception of Konami's Castlevania video game series. In Castlevania, players assume the role of Simon Belmont, a descendant of a legendary vampire hunter. Simon enters the castle of Count Dracula with the intent of destroying him when the vampire suddenly reappears 100 years after Simon's ancestor vanquished him. Castlevania was developed concurrently with the MSX2 game Vampire Killer, which was released a month later and shares the same characters and setting but features different gameplay mechanics. The game was followed by a sequel, Castlevania II, Simon's Quest, and a prequel, Castlevania III, Dracula's Curse, both of which were also released for the NES. Super Castlevania IV, released in 1991 for the Super NES, follows a similar storyline. A remake for the Sharp X68000 home computer was released in 1993 and later re-released for the PlayStation as Castlevania Chronicles in 2001. Castlevania achieved both commercial success and critical acclaim. It is regarded as an NES classic by PC World, while Nintendo Power and Game Informer both ranked it among the best video games ever made. In Castlevania, the gameplay revolves around platforming and is divided into 6 blocks, each consisting of 3 stages, for a total of 18 stages. The player controls Simon, who can move, jump, crouch, climb stairs, and use a magic whip known as the Vampire Killer as his primary combat weapon. There is a short delay between pressing the button to crack the whip and Simon actually doing so. At the beginning of the game, the player starts with 4 lives and 5 hearts and must complete the current block of stages before a timer runs out. Simon has a health meter that decreases when he is hit by an enemy or projectile. Losing all health or letting the timer run out results in losing a life, as does falling off the bottom of the screen or being hit by a moving spiked ceiling. Throughout the game, the player fights boss characters, usually themed after classic horror movie monsters, at the end of each block. To advance, the player must defeat the boss and collect a red orb that restores all health before the time runs out. The ultimate goal is to defeat Count Dracula and the Curse of Man at the end of Stage 18, causing Dracula's castle to collapse and allowing the player to restart the game at a higher difficulty level. Players can find and use various backup weapons throughout the game, including throwing knives, axes, holy water vials, a magical watch that freezes enemies briefly, and sacred crosses that act as boomerangs. However, only one backup weapon can be carried at a time, and it is automatically lost if the player picks up a new one or loses a life. These backup weapons require hearts for use, which can be obtained by extinguishing candles or defeating enemies with the whip. Other hidden items include point bonuses, temporary invincibility, upgrades to the whip's length and power, instant destruction of all on-screen enemies, and double to triple use of the backup weapon. When all lives are lost, the player has the option to continue from the start of the block or return to the title screen. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.